Hey guys, it's me, Ego here. Hi. Hello. Have you guys been using a lot of concealer these days? I don't know why, but I've been seeing a lot of videos of concealer products on social media these days, and many people seem to be using a lot of concealer. But the problem is that there are so many types of concealer. So today I'm gonna tell you where and how to use each type of concealer. First of all, when choosing a concealer product, the color you choose is very important, so I'll explain it briefly. Depending on whether you apply concealer before or after your base makeup, the criteria for choosing a color is slightly different. If you use concealer before your base makeup, it's better to choose a tone that is similar to your skin tone or half to one tone darker rather than a lighter color. If you use a bright tone, the area that needs cover can stand out more. Conversely, after base makeup, it's better to choose a color that is similar to the shade of the base makeup product you're using. Take note that if it's too bright or too dark, it can stand out as well. Now that I've briefly explained how to choose a shade, I'll tell you the how-to by telling you about each type of concealer. Pot type. A pot type concealer is literally a product which is stored in a pot container and is also known as jar type. This concealer is perfect for covering up blemishes, pigmentation, or melasma. Normally, you may feel a lot of difficulty in using it since it has a very hard formulation, but it has the highest coverage among concealers. I recommend using a concealer brush like this rather than applying it with your fingers. Since the pot type can show a very dry finish, in the case of a concealer brush, it's recommended to use a small size rather than a large size to cover the small areas. Pot type concealers are actually not that difficult to use. Using a small brush, apply 2/3 of the concealer on one side of the brush. Then, apply it on the back of your hand and rotate the brush back and forth to adjust the amount of concealer. And when it's spread evenly and well mixed into the brush, just apply it on the area you want to cover. At this time, do not touch it too much and first touch the area around the area you want to cover, not the center, and then blend thinly. If you touch the center first, it can actually stand out a lot. After blending, put a bit of concealer on the back of your hand once more, lay the brush flat and tap it to adhere. Then you'll have the perfect coverage. Stick type. As the name plainly states it, these concealers are stick type concealers and is a solid type concealer. Since it's a solid type, there may be some products that have a stiff application, but there are also many products that apply on softly. As these concealers provide high coverage, it's a good product to carry around and conveniently use it for those who want to use it on a slightly wider area than when using a pencil type concealer. Instead of using a separate brush, it's better to apply it directly on the area you want to cover, leave it for about a minute, and then blend the border using your fingers, puff, or thin brush if you have one. Pencil type. A pencil type concealer that looks like a pencil is really easy to use and highly portable. There are products that comes out when you twist the lower part, but there are also products that need to be cut and used like this. Since it's a solid type, the formula is not watery and is hard, so it has high coverage but not much like pot or stick type. I think that the pencil types are products that even beginners can easily use because you can just draw it on the skin without using a separate tool. It'll soften up from interacting with the temperature of the skin and allow you to draw well. You can cover the area very easily by applying it to the center of the area you want to cover and then lightly tapping it with your finger or a cushion puff to finish. But there's a product that looks very similar to the pencil type concealer. It's the dual pencil liner that are seen quite often these days. These liners have one side in a light color and the other side in a dark color, which is convenient for drawing 애교살. The light color part tends to have a color similar to the skin, so it seems to be usable as a concealer. If you don't have a pencil type concealer, you can always try using a dual pencil liner as a concealer. Liquid type. This seems to be one of the most used products these days. This product is suitable for large areas such as the forehead, acne scars, widespread redness, melasma, and freckles. There are many products with different applicators even though they're the same liquid type. An elongated flat shape, a short rounded slanted line shape, a short flat slanted line shape, and one made of metal. The metal applicator is a product designed to be applied in only small amounts. So for products with brush type applicators, it's better to choose a brush size that is the size of a thumbnail. It's better to use a very small brush with a slightly pointed tip for these products which are made of metal. Liquid type concealers have a moist texture, so it's easy to use even for beginners, and it does not dry up or crack even after applying it on. Liquid types come with an applicator so you can apply it directly on your face, but I actually like using it with a brush. In the case of a large brush, it's better to first apply a small amount of concealer on the back of your hand and then apply 2/3 of the concealer starting from the tip of the brush. First, apply the area that needs coverage by spreading it, then tap it around the area so that there is no border. Repeated spreading and tapping will make it more and more matte and adhere to the skin better. In the case of the small size brush, it's convenient to cover small areas by gathering the tips of the brush while applying evenly. When covering with a brush like this, put the concealer on instead of instantly touching it so it can be covered well. However, if there is too much concealer, there will be marks, so it's important to adjust the amount on the back of your hand really well and cover only the necessary areas. All-in-one brush type. This is an all-in-one product that does not require a separate tool, so it's convenient and portable. Usually, brush-type concealers have a sense of length and soft bristles. Since it has a watery and moist formulation, it's basically a product made to be used on areas with thin skin such as around the eyes and mouth. It should be noted that the coverage is significantly lower than the other concealers because it has a watery and light formulation. The all-in-one brush-type concealer is good for lightly covering dark circles around the eyes or dull areas around the mouth, so it's good for those who prefer foundation-free makeup. There's also an all-in-one tip brush type. The all-in-one version of the liquid type concealer is the tip brush type. Concealer and brush are all-in-one, making it a highly portable product. Unlike regular all-in-one brush types, this is a soft tip brush. It has a slightly thicker texture than the brush type formula, so it has a little higher coverage. Since the formulation is slightly thicker, it's less clear than the all-in-one brush type concealer. It's better to apply to the center of the face where it's easy to cover lightly. Apply to the center of the face under the eyes, forehead, bridge of the nose, and chin for a highlighter effect. And finally, the palette type. These usually have 2 to 4 colors or more, so it's a very versatile product. I have a selection of product in a variety of colors. Bright ivory for highlighter, peach for blue and grayish dark circles, salmon for a dark and dull part under the eyes or on the eyelids or the greenish philtrum, green for redness or purple pigmentation, lavender for green pigmentation, yellow skin tone or mottled areas, shea color for shading, contouring. The palette type concealer has a similar formulation to the pot type I showed you at the beginning, so it has a matte application, which also means that if you use it incorrectly, there may be cracks or standout. The tools you use differ depending on the area you want to cover. When you say you're using a brush, it's better to choose a brush size similar to the area you want to cover. First, I'm gonna cover the red part with a green color. It's better to melt it with the temperature of your hand so it can be applied smoothly without clogging the pores. The presence of redness may mean that your skin may be sensitive, so it's better to press gently with your hands rather than tapping with a brush or puff that can irritate the skin. Peach or salmon color is a good color to cover blue and grayish dark circles. If you use a large amount of concealer all over the under eye area, dark circles will look more prominent and it can get between the wrinkles around the eyes, so it's recommended to use only a small amount. Lightly touch on peach concealer once on the darkest border of dark circles, then gently smudge the area around it to cover as thinly as possible, and finish by tapping with your fingers. Lavender color is a good color for yellow skin, and you can see the effect of brightening up the skin tone. It's particularly good to apply it on yellow and dull areas of the face. It's also good for covering sunken areas such as around the mouth or chin. For people with extremely yellow skin, it's also good to apply it all over the face like a makeup base to express bright skin. In this state, lightly apply a light skin tone color under dark circles, cheekbones, forehead, bridge of the nose, brow bones, tail of the eyes, around the mouth, and the center of the chin. I used the palette concealer to cover only half of my face. Just by looking at it like this, the skin on one side I covered definitely looks neat and bright, but not thick or stuffy. And this is an outlier. There's another concealer similar to the liquid type, tube type. In the past, this product was mixed with a lot of foundation, and when you feel that the coverage of the original foundation is not enough, mixing a small amount of this concealer will make the formula thicker and increase the coverage. Like this, I told you about different concealer products and how-tos. I didn't know because I don't usually use concealer products, but I liked it because it seemed like a light, natural base makeup. I hope today's video will be helpful to those who have had difficulties in using concealer products. So my video is still here. Thank you for watching my video today. Don't forget to subscribe, press the like buttons, and please leave some comments for me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.